Hey, good morning, fellas. I'm gonna walk you around the house in the master bedroom, bathroom. There's the jet tub, all that kind of stuff. Okay. And I'm gonna talk to you because I'm trying not to get upset. I'll show you the bedroom. No, I haven't made the bed yet. By the way, that blanket right there is called a whoopee. Yes, it's a thing soldiers have. That's the walk-in closets. Um, what I'm trying to, I think I need some help because I'm not able to get through to. I already shut the light off in the weight room. I did some weights here, sauna, and some of the other machines. I had to check on my mother-in-law's room. Let me take you around the front. I'm also taking you with me so we can do my little security check. Security. So I go out the front door. Anyways, why are women shocked that men have standards? I'm honestly asking this. It's going to be like 84, so I'll put the window down now. Open the other windows. Now, whenever I talk, there's a group of my wife's cousins that are in their late 30s, mid 30s to their mid 40s. And they are absolutely consistently frustrating to talk to here. Up front, you know what that's called? That's a BAPT, big ass palm tree. Now, while I'm walking you around the house, is to show you some of the things that women expect out of men. They want to live in a nice neighborhood. They have a nice house. Oh, my flag broke. Okay, I'll get that fixed today. Let me show you the clip here on the flag. Broke. Let me see if I can just slap it back together here real quick. Okay, that'll work. Anyways, all that to say this. There is a nice car in here, but I waited for 50 years. Look, my remorse. But I waited for 50 years to have a Lexus. It wasn't given to me, and my rub is. I'll show you the backside of the house that leads to the pool area and laundry room. There's here, and that leads out back of me to the street. So why I'm doing this is my wife's cousins seem and act extremely belligerent to me whenever I tell them that the men that they want don't want them. And I'll list the reasons. And I'll list the reasons a little bit later. And here's my point is, let me show you. Walked in, there's the laundry room, there's the office and the front room, bookcases, kitchen table, island, all the stuff that makes a house. Take you around. Now back, there's the fireplace. There is the cat's place. The front door's locked, but the window's open. Plants, TV, and the rest of that kind of stuff. So, I think that women believe. Oh, that's my remorse again. She cut me off. All right, baby, I'll pet you. All right. Anyways, I'll show you pool. I got to work on it again. It's a labor of love. I would love. I'm not. Anyways, I love catching sunrise. There is the sliver of the moon. Okay, we see ya. I don't have to pet you all the time. Anyways, all right. Let me show you the moon. Jeez. Have another cup of coffee, Sarge. All right, there's the moon. What I'm driving at is, and I just think it's an absolute contradiction when women have these litany of standards, and when you bring up any of the standards that guys have, and I'll title this something about what's wrong with a guy having standards. It just, oh, God damn, I just walked into it. Anyways, I'll take you out to the front and sit down. By showing you around the house, what I'm actually trying to do is saying that I didn't just show up one day, decide to move into this house, decide to have a decent life. Anyways, and they just all, okay, here's your house, here's this. You have to, men are required to live in reality. And now there are some men who are what I call trust fund babies, and their version of reality is not what the basic average guy goes through. And I don't consider myself uber successful or anything like that. I just, and I do these videos more for me than for trying to help people. But I am trying to help. I'm just not sure sometimes I know what the hell I'm doing. And I'm smart enough to admit that. So let me get to the point. My wife's cousins, and there is a ton of them, are so delusional that they actually believe that they are the prize. That the guy, no matter how hard he worked, whatever he earned, whatever he built for himself, just because they showed up, they get half, no matter what. And for me, anyways. And they have common law marriage here in the state of Texas. After 2 years, you're pretty much you live with the person. You can't just abandon them. And I understand, too, in the old days, a guy would say, I'm going to buy a pack of smokes and never come back. But that's not the way it is now. And, for example, they get so upset with me when I tell them, you're overweight and out of shape. You wear too much makeup. You cut me off whenever I'm trying to make a point. I get halfway through a sentence and you're already telling me I'm wrong. You're too short. Guys my size don't want anything to do with a short girl other than fool around with you. Well, guys will fool around with just about anything, depending on their options. And that's just me being funny. I was thinking back in the middle of the Middle East where you'd see guys having sex with donkeys and just goats. And I know it may sound ridiculous, but it's actually true. Anyways, I can't believe she's doing that to that couch. So, and here, all I'm trying to do to these, not do to them, all I'm trying to explain to these ladies is it's not a one-way street. And if I'm going to provide you with a home, a car, a home in a safe environment, a good community, you don't have to work. You don't have to do anything but be my wife. But I expect you to do the domestic chores. No, I don't. Yes, can I afford a maid? Yes. Do I want a fucking maid and a gardener and all that kind of stuff? No. I like doing that shit myself. It keeps me out of the house, keeps me moving around. And I don't want somebody else poking through my stuff. I don't see why you need to be in my underwear drawer. My wife does all of that stuff now that she stopped working. And my wife was making over, I think, between $120,000 and $140,000 a year. She was a salary employee at the director of something at the University Medical Center. And that was fine. But when she was working, the standard was she had to pay half of everything. Half of the insurance, half of the medical, half of the food bill, half of the light. She had to pay that, and she did it willingly. That was part of my standards. If you want this, ladies, I want to get something in return, my return on investment, my ROI. And I cannot get through to them that they have to do more than just show up. And now I'm not trying to be crude, ladies, and I'm not trying to upset anybody, but just because you have a vagina, and you have sex with the guy every once in a while, doesn't mean that doesn't equate to half. Okay, so if you guys, now, please, you guys in the MGTOW and the red pill, don't beat me up too much because I have a wife in that. I know I can't be a part of the MGTOW. And I know I'm not really part of the red pill community, but I support those guys. I understand what they've been through. And I tell you what, I have my own horror stories that I don't want to go over or revisit. But most of her cousins in that group, their shelf life is over. And even when you try to talk to them about logical, biological effects about their egg count going down, their the egg that needs to be fertilized to become a child, they're in denial. Well, I'm going to freeze my eggs. And anything you try to tell them to ask them to be realistic and not delusional about. If you're 5 foot nothing, I can't hold hands with you and walk down the street at 6'2". You'd have to have your arm up here, and I'd have to be bending down like that. That's just not comfortable. Can we have sex? Yes. Does that happen? Yes. Sex is not a relationship. That should not be a shocker to anybody. And when I said that, they're audible. Oh, obviously you don't know, guys. If you think. Anyways. Are there always going to be simps out there? Yeah. Are they messing it up? Yeah. Is that this is my personal opinion, and YouTube, nobody else is responsible for my personal opinion, but I believe that the push for feminism, I think I said that right, feminist, has caused a lot of guys to become soft. And I have a rule in my relationship that is to protect and provide. Those are my top 2 goals. My wife's goal is to take care of and nurture. That's it. Listen, a relationship, in my opinion, has to be balanced. And you can't just show up at the finish line, ta-da, I'm here, and expect to get the princess treatment. My wife doesn't have any tattoos on her. My wife doesn't have any rings in her nose or in her septum. That rings here, or a ring. I don't know why you pierce your tongue or pierce your lip and your tattoos, and then on top of that, the mannerisms. It is so hard for me to be around women that walk around and act like they can. If you can't kick my ass, you shouldn't talk shit to me. And that's probably my biggest complaint about all of this. I try not to interrupt people when they're talking. So, because I understand that I have 2 ears and 1 mouth, I listen twice as much as I speak. But I mean, why are women nowadays, modern women, so upset if a guy has standards? My wife had to pass all kinds of background checks, financial, credit check. She had to have a physical. I'm telling you, I put her through it. She had to sign a prenuptial agreement. Is that ironclad? No, but it's what I did to protect myself as best I can. Um, does my wife know that no matter what, she's taken care of for the rest of her life? Absolutely. That's part of the deal. Um, my wife had to put up with me when I was drinking. I don't drink anymore. I don't smoke. I'm probably living my best 14, 15 months I've ever had in my life. But I just don't know how to get through to these ladies. And I tell them all the time, the guy they were supposed to marry has been standing right there in front of their face this whole time. And they put him in the friend zone. That's not my fault. It's not my fault or any other guy you run into that you're 5'2" and you weigh 200 pounds. You wear too much makeup. Makeup was only supposed to be for special occasions. Men aren't playing these games anymore. Men are vetting women that want to be in their lives. And some guys are like, we're not even, that's why the red pill and the MGTOW guys, they're like, I'm not playing a fucking rigged game. And the more I think about it, I'm like, who's the smarter, them or me? And I lean over and I go, the guys over there with the MGTOW and the red pill, they're way smarter than I was. And it's why I love them. And I'm going to do what I can to support them. And ladies, 18 to 35 goes way faster than you may believe. You have a limited amount of time to get what you want. And if you're not going to be reciprocal in that endeavor, you're going to find yourself in your late 30s and 40s on the sidelines, wondering what happened, wondering why your good traditional friend, your good traditional girlfriend, has a couple of kids, nice home, nice life. I have a nice life. I can provide a nice life for more than just my wife, if I chose to. I have everything I want. But my wife had to be vetted. My wife had to sign paperwork. Anyway, she did it willingly. In fact, she was making I can't remember if it's 120 something or 140 something. Somewhere in between there she was making. There are so many good, hard-working men out there that are just done. And I see more of them all the time. They're not playing this game, and it's rigged. And even when you try to talk to some of these women and just provide them facts, just the fact that the guy wants something in return for providing you with, providing for you and protecting you. I want something in return. And for you to be aghast that a guy would want something in return, or that the guy has standards and you don't meet those standards, that's when the words, men ain't shit, come out and stuff like that. Men ain't shit because you're 5'2" and 220 pounds. You got more chins than I got hanging down here. Anyways, all right. Love you guys. I just had to get this off my chest. Thank you for listening to me. Love you. Stay safe and healthy. Take care of each other if you can. And if you can't, take care of your damn self. We need you guys more than you need us old farts. All right? Like a fart in a G-string. from West Texas, El Paso. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.